What's good, Joe? Welcome to my review, finally, for episode 2 of My Hero Academia final season, man. We are finally here, man. Sorry for the delayed review. As you guys know, I mentioned in my in the last review, went to Texas for my abuela's funeral. Had that whole thing going down, bruh. It was a whole thing. We finally got back. We had no internet at the hotel. Shitty ass hotel we were staying in, man. Or at least my computer would not just refuse to connect to the internet. It just would not pick up, would not connect to it. So yeah, I had no internet, man. I couldn't watch and review the episode if I wanted to, man. So yeah, shit sucked. So I had to been ducking Twitter all day. I did see bits and pieces of the episode from when it leaked a little bit. Obviously, when My Soccer Academia and everything were posted about it, the ED, I saw little bits and pieces, but I was always trying to stay spoiler-free. And yeah, fine, saw the episode, man. By the time you guys see this one, the reaction of the episode will already be up, because I've had you guys waiting way too long. I'm going to get something out there as soon as possible. So literally, as I'm recording this review right now, basically the reaction of the episode is already exporting right now. So by the time you guys see it, the video will already be up. So yeah, look forward to that, guys, and enjoy that reaction. And yeah, well, there's obviously a lot to talk about this episode, man. Bakugo's big return, man. Not Haruka. We'll talk about Haruka Ida because the ED was very reminiscent of her style. That finally had that Haruka Ida sauce that I have been craving, ladies and gentlemen. So yeah, we'll see what that is, which episode. So yeah, like I said, at this point, she has to be directing an episode. Surely she has to be, man. Maybe she's directing episode 3, man. Episode 3 is so goddamn. I would not be surprised maybe she's directing that episode. Who knows? Hopefully she isn't, because like I said, I want her on the cliff. I want her on the cliff. Or chapter 431. I want her on one of those two. The Izuo to Shimmer me wants her on that episode. On either of those episodes. Hell, have her do both episodes. I would not mind. But obviously, we'll wait and see on that, man. What the case may be. Episode 3, man. Episode 3 finna be generational. Generationally. We'll talk more about that after the end of the video when we talk about the next episode. Real quick, man. Yeah. Shit's crazy, man. And yeah, without further ado, man, let's just jump right into the actual episode. So we start the episode off with some narration from All Might, where we get to see his mom. Now, I don't know how much more of her we can see, if this is like her only cameo, or we get a little bit more screen time with All Might's mom or not. This is like the one thing I remember seeing, so I don't know if we see more of this is it. So, yeah, I guess maybe it's up, her fate's up there. Is she still alive? Did All for One kill her? Who knows? Those questions still remain unanswered at this current moment. But anyway, man, so this, which might as well just mention this real quick, this was handled by Yojiro Sasaki, was this whole sequence of All Might and his mom, man, which is really good, man. The character I think is pretty good. And All Might is like singing along this whole thing from the book. Aponman, if I'm pronouncing that right, which if you guys do not know, for the audience that are not in well versed in Japanese, culture and whatnot, Aponman, if I'm pronouncing, I feel like I'm not. Like Doraemon is a very iconic Japanese character that's that's for children's medium. Think of them, they're basically like they're like Japan's Sesame Street, basically. That's probably the closest like American equivalent I can mention. That is something akin to like Sesame Street or something along those lines. It's sort of these types of characters. But anyway, All Might says such tender moments to call an origin. And we see like All Might traveling through like this beautiful flower field, just walking along before he eventually turns. And we also get some really nice skyboxing here with the sun setting here, man. The purple going into like the reddish and the orange, man, looks amazing. As for what I've done, I just suddenly turned and looked back down the path. And then we see all these like glowing orbs behind All Might start to appear. It just looked like such precious things. And that's when we cut over to the OP, man, which you guys may remember I said in the OP, to jump ahead a little bit, that the OP felt like it was definitely inspired by Haruka Ida's works, but still lacked that Haruka Ida sauce. Well, the ED is without a doubt has that Haruka Ida sauce. And clearly you could tell that the higher-ups at Studio C clearly loved Haruka's work from her OPs and from her OP and her EDs from Season 6, because both of them definitely feel like they're both heavily inspired by her work and kind of continue on from where she left off. And so yeah, like I said, hopefully that means she's the right damage. I mean, at this point, it has to mean she is, man. Like I said, she hasn't worked on anything else since Season 7 and Your Next, so it's not like she's been, working on another show, man. She has been she's been working on Season 8 since probably both those productions wrapped up. As far as I can tell, anyway. Like I said, nothing's on her credits past those two. But yeah. So yeah, like I said, it might be episode 3 with how good episode 3 looks, man. It might be her. That might be her episode, man. Hopefully it's not. It's somebody else. Because like I said, I want Haruka to direct the Clift episode and do key animation for it as well, man. Or chapter 431, the final episode. So hopefully we get either one of those, man. That would be nice. Anyway. So after the OP wraps up, we get some recap from the last little bits of the end of the previous episode with Stain coming in there, man, on his fucking glider. Then we get a title card saying dozens of minutes ago, which I found hilarious. They said dozens instead of giving a specific time. I thought that was funny. And you can clearly tell they're just reusing Season 7 footage right here with Ida and Todoroki. And, like, the difference in art quality is... Like, we've obviously could tell from the trailers and whatnot that clearly there was an uptick in art quality from Season 7 to Season 8 due to the Zone being single core. But seeing it right in front of you back to back in this episode, man, it really shows just how much better and more detailed the overall artwork and key animation is for this season compared to previous seasons. It's truly insane, man. But anyway, after that, man, we see Stain gliding around, like going on his glider, tracing the steps of where All for One, Ys, and All Might fought, looking for any like rubble that had blood on it, you know, that hadn't been washed away. He finds some underneath this like rubble, and starts sniffing the blood. Apparently, Stain is a bloodhound. I was not aware of this fact, and like, how the fuck can this man smell without his nose? Because you gotta remember, in Vigilantes, he cut that bitch right off. So how the fuck can he even smell? Like, I am no biologist of the human anatomy, so I am not well versed in how the nose specifically works and whatnot. But like, how does that even work without a nose? How are you able to smell this? And he looks around until he finally finds the one that has All for One's blood on it. Sees the cannon and starts rushing towards to help out All Might. Which, first off, I gotta say real quick, I love this shot of when we see Stain inside, like, this building, and, like, there's a hole in it, and you can see the laser from Hercules coming out of it, man. This shot looks amazing, man. I love this shot. And so then we get some narration from Stain mentioned about, like, no matter what, once I lick your blood, block or activate, you will stop moving, regardless of who you are. So All Might and Stain start to charge in, start to close in on All for One, man. I'm hyped thinking we're gonna get some badass team up between Stain and All Might that's gonna go hard. But right when they're about to land, blood just starts spilling out of All for One, man. Literally just pouring out of this dude. And I'm like, bro, how are you doing this? How are you alive? Like, wouldn't this kill you from just releasing all this blood at once? And so we see that this is one of his quirks, because of course he has, called Forceful Quirk of Activation, which I guess is how he activated it. Bloodlet. We don't get an actual explanation what this quirk works, but from what we see a little bit later on the episode, see, like, this is a quirk that completely reworks your blood. Not entirely sure that worked, but I'm assuming that maybe changes its blood type or something. We get like this, like we can see All for One, where he's like covered in blood, man, and glides in shadow. Then we actually see him when he's like completely covered in blood, man. It looks amazing, man. It looks amazing. But anyway, we get some narration from All for One, man, talking about like that he was like the one person that rejected him from Tartarus, and he says that he reworks his blood, never leaving a trace as a secret to my lengthy reign. So I'm not entirely sure if that works or not, but that seems to be the case. He reworks his blood, which I guess is probably how people could never find him, whatnot, because, you know, the blood would never match. They would never find matching blood. But anyway, he says, letting that blood woke me up, All Might charges in a little bit more, and then this is when All for One throws Stain through a bunch of fucking buildings. It's pretty insane that this didn't instantly kill the dude. Which we do know the animators for. If I can pull it up real quick, on Sakugaburo. The actual, when we actually see Stain throw flying into the building, which I'm pretty sure the background's 3D here, at least according to Sakugaburo, it's credited to an animator by the name of Choo Choo. Never heard of this animator. And then the overhead shot of the buildings is presumed to be Issei Yamaichi, if I pronounced the name right. And yeah, those are the two animators that are credited for this cut, man. I never heard of either one, especially this guy named Choo Choo. Like, that is, I mean, it looks like he's mostly done Hiroaka as well. He did a bunch of work for Season 7 as well. Also got to work on 1,000 Year Blood War as well, so that's pretty cool. Oh damn, he actually did a really nice cut for Core 1. That's actually really hype. With I think this was like during the battle with Yuha, if I remember correctly. Yeah, episode 7. I think this was the battle with Yuha. Damn, this dude, that's a really damn. It's kind of cool that he got to do that one, man. That was a really cool sequence. Anyway, I'm getting distracted. But yeah, he sends Stain through all these freaking buildings. We see him like laying on top of another one, man. His chest is exposed, man. And All For One says he's gonna take Blood Curdle. And then of course he mentions how Stain is like the reason for like the league even started to begin with. He says that means your role is over, murderer. And then Stain goes off with this thing saying that everything is a process, Demon Lord. And we get some there saying he may not have received higher education, but he taught him All Might taught him everything what a hero should be. He then raises his hands up and he says, and win my all something, because that's when All For One punches him. Not entirely sure what Stain was doing. Was he planning on self-destructed? Like, did he have another card up his sleeve that we're not aware of? I'm not entirely sure what man was trying to do here. But whatever the case may be, man, he then, after he punches him, man, he throws off some more of his lasers towards All Might. But the last bit of the shield from Hercules comes in there clutch to take on the blow and get All Might out of the way so he can survive. Then we cut over to this hallucination he's having with Nana Shimura, as well as also Sir Night-Eye, which is pretty cool. Although Night doesn't get to speak at all, which I was kind of hoping he does, because I want to hear Brandon get some new lines in there, and that would have been cool. But unfortunately not. I must say, man, the drawings here are phenomenal, man. Like the animation directors, I don't know how many ADs this episode had or which one. I just know that the main character designer, because it's on Sakugaburo, the character designer for the series. I'm still gonna do his name. What was his name again? I always keep forgetting his name. Yoshihiko Umakoshi was the animation director for Koei Horikoshi, which you can definitely tell by the drawings, man. They are so highly detailed, woman. They extra clear. But I don't know if he worked on this one or if it was another one of the ADs. Whoever did, man, the drawings or whoever animated this or whoever did the sequence, man, either way, man, it looks amazing. The drawings here, man, I've gone on ad nauseum since season 8 has started, man. But you can seriously tell just the jump in quality of the artwork for the show, man. With it being a single core rather than multi-core, man, it's pretty insane how much of an increase in quality there was. But anyway, All Might wakes up in there. Nana's telling him to keep fighting, and almost immediately All Might knows that this is in his head, that he's borrowing his master's form in order to encourage himself. And then Night-Eye shows up, man, looks down on him, says, "I can't fight. That I can't no longer use my legs, support him. I can't fight him." But All For One. But then we get some flashbacks from both Izuku as well as Inko from season 3 and season 4, telling him to live. And well, All Might is still alive, man. This shot of All Might with like the shadows and his eyes are glowing a little bit. He says like, "I'm still alive, bitch," is phenomenal. He tells him to come and get him, man. Great stuff. So then we head back over to Coffin in the Sky. And we see that the Twice clones are still there, man. You're like, God damn, these take their sweet ass time to dissipate. And then we see Momo out here looking like fucking War Machine with there's a giant with this arsenal on her. She got a shield, a rocket launcher of some kind, and a goddamn turret on her shoulder, man. Like, bro, she's straight up looking like War Machine up in here, man. It's pretty insane. But anyway, then we hear that All For One's now ready to use a sludge, a teleportation cord to get Shigaraki towards him. We see Izuku and all. We finally get to see Izuku and Shigaraki fight. Most of this we've already saw in the trailers. And then this line made me laugh where he's talking about the giving Shigaraki the reproduced quirk. He said he'll become a me that surpasses me. I just thought that line was funny. But anyway, All Might still continuing to crawl towards All For One, trying to keep his attention off him and off of Izuku. So then he tries to use the sludge teleportation thing to bring Shigaraki to him. Shigaraki, like we see it come out of his mouth. Izuku's kind of confused. We get some really nice shots of Izuku here, man. Like, goddamn, the drawings here are superb. But anyway, he closes his mouth, telling Shigaraki telling All For One to fuck off. And it seems like they almost have a telepathic link. I'm not sure if they do, but it was definitely thinking in his mind, so I don't know if they have a telepathic thing going on between them with the shared consciousness or whatnot. Whatever the case may be, he's like, and All For One's like, "Yeah, I suspected my conscience already been consumed by Tomura." He's like, "Alright, I'll just go to him. Cool." So he dives to grab All For One. Once again, the drawings here are absolutely spectacular. We see the Volcano Head dude is still, once again, he's still filming. He has not stopped filming. Shout out to him, man, because he's like over by like some like this exposed part of Confidence Guy. So shout out to this kid for still filming all this. And then we see him, and then we see All For One carrying All Might by his leg, and All Might just, it looks like he's dead. He is just down for the count, man. Sugar, All For One rubs in his baby like, oh, All Might, what a pathetic face you are. Come on, you gotta take responsibility for showing youngsters a futile dream. And we get back over to Izuku, and then Shigaraki's like, oh, bro, you better go save All Might, Izuku. And then Shigaraki's like laughing maniacally, saying like, and while you're at, I'll go kill everyone else that was hunting me before, man. Once again, man, the drawings here are absolutely spectacular. And then Izuku gets to see All Might like this. And Izuku is obviously struggling what to do, if he should stick on Shigaraki, go help All Might, man. And then we get some narration from President Mike once again saying he thought he gotten his tears under control. And now he once again fights them to hold him back. Which you could actually see like the tears coming out of his eye, which I didn't notice on my first video in the episode, but on the review I first started recording, you could see it, man. Because he wants to be a good apprentice. Inside his mind, the image of All For One, was already starting to bid him farewell. And then, Jesus Christ, Izuku says, All Might! I can't do it justice, man. Daiki, man. You guys may remember, like, a while ago, I think like a few months ago, well before the season had started airing, I want to say it was Daiki himself, it might have been something else, but I'm pretty sure it was Daiki himself, had tweeted out about him, like, straight up crying in the booth, like, while working on this show, man, while working on this season, man. And I feel this is one of those times, man, his voice is so high-pitched and so cracked. I genuinely question if Horikoshi himself had just kicked him in the balls right before he recorded this line. Because goddamn, bro, his voice cracks so much here, man. Like, I'm really interested in how Justin's gonna perform this, man. Like, Jesus Christ, man. So yeah, that one. Oh man, I'm really curious to see how Justin's gonna perform that, man. Because, whoo, Daiki, man. Goddamn. Bro popped off there right now. Bro popped off, man. So shout out to Daiki, man. Seriously. And then once again, and then we hear the flag from Season 1, but he says maybe he can be a hero without a quirk. All Might says, yes, you can. After all, you tried so hard, and you could never fully abandon your dreams, and I can't abandon my own dreams. So this is when All Might pops back up, wraps his armor with like the piece of his armor that's still on there. We get a quick flashback back to Two Heroes, or that OVA where we get to see All Might when he's getting whisked away by Gran Torino as Nana faces off against All For One. And Nana says, you're going to lose to All Might, definitely. I mean, Toshiro is crazier than you are. And once again, we see All Might. Bro is smiling. He's ready to die, to kill off All For One, or at least turn him into a preschool or something. This man is ready to die, and he will take All For One with him. But then All For One protrudes some spikes out of his neck that, takes out the gauntlet, so, he's fucked. So there's that. He grabs him by the throat, licks his blood, so we see that he does indeed have Steen's quirk, and All Might is just like, well, I'm fucked. I'm dead. There's nothing more I can do. And then we see All For One smile so hard, she straight up breaks his skin up to like where his eyes are, straight up looking like the Joker in the Dark Knight, man, with the scars. Shit was crazy, man. And to jump ahead real quick, man, I gotta ask, when these chapters had initially released, was this around the time the Snyder Cut had first dropped, man? Because, like, I don't know about you, but for some reason, while I was watching this part of the episode, right before we get to see Bakugo's return, man, it felt very Zack Snyder inspired in terms of the imagery in this portion of the episode, man. I don't know if it was the intentional or not, but I don't know, for some reason when I was watching this, it felt very Zack Snyder inspired, at least to me, man. The imagery felt very reminiscent of his films, man. I could be wrong though, man, but that's just something that I felt while I was watching this part of the episode. And so then obviously now with Calvin in the sky now finally stabilized, Gentle Criminal, he's ready to go down there and finish him off, but then All For One blasts right through Calvin the guy, so he's stuck there having to hold this fucking thing up. And the kids, they still filming. He says, don't stop filming. This thing is literally crashing down, and bro's like, motherfucker, you better keep filming. I respect the dedication, man. I respect the dedication. And it seems like and all for one mentioned that it seems like his shot was off because he mentioned that UA pulled my shot off target, so it looks like he might have missed. He was maybe aiming to like just blow the whole thing up, but that didn't work. And then this is when Stars boys come in there, man, on their planes, jets, whatever the name of these kind of aerial vehicles are called, these aircraft. Anyway, they rush in, and All For One quickly makes quick work of them with like one of his wind quirks and just slices off half of their wings off, man. So they just crash land. So it feels like I said, it feels like it's the end. All Might is gonna die. All For One is like holding him. Like this felt like something like ripped out of Arkham City. You guys remember the end of the game where Batman is just carrying Joker in his arm, man? It felt reminiscent of that. He lifts him over his arm, man. He's about to just like let him fall to his death. And then we get to see some parts of him around the world, man. Like I think there's a bit in Australia because the guy says, "Oh, crikey." At least I think it's how it's supposed to be said, because I don't think the dude actually said this in English at all. Yeah, bro says it's in Japanese, but I think this is supposed to be Australia. But I could be wrong. We see some other countries as well, and we see this old guy be like, "Oh, All Might save me." We see the kids from season 4 once again watching the footage. Melissa gets some screen time as well, saying "Uncle Might." Toast, you get to see Gran Torino. He's crying, and then there's just this one random dude that's just like, "Yeah, bro, it's over." Like he acts like his team just lost a basketball game. This bro is way too chill. He's like, "Yeah, man, whatever form it takes, this is the end of his death will mark the end of an era." I'm like, bro, you are way too chill for this sort of situation, bro. This ain't like, you act like your team just lost a football game or something, bro. What the fuck? and this shot of All Might, this close up on him right before when All Might says "Stop already," Jesus Christ, is absolutely incredible. Like this is a shot I need to see the Genga for. The thick outlines too, man. It's just like, oh. So good. Izuku's reaching out to All Might, man, to beg whether to go him. And then that's when Bakugo finally rises from the dead. And we get the text, end of an era, and the beginning, where we then also get a quick shot of Izuku and Bakugo when they first got those All Might cards. And I really like the way this is done, where you see like these like star-like thingies go up to the sky, then come back to reality, and it shows Bakugo holding his card covered in his blood and whatnot, man. And the drawings here of Izuku and Bakugo to end the episode off, man. Jesus Christ. Now, if you guys follow Kohei on Twitter, as well as you're subscribed to his YouTube, yes, he has a YouTube channel. That's where he posted his initial Hiroaka fan animations, if you guys were not aware of that. But anyway, if you guys check out the footage, it seems like he, kinda added in the Gengas to them. I'm not entirely sure if he kinda added the Gengas to them, because if you pay attention, I'm trying to find it right now. Okay, I think I found it. Because if you guys pay attention to if you pay attention to the background of the video, you can see like the numbers, the E6, obviously referring to this as either like a Genga or a layout, going up in numbers as it continues onward before fades while it's mixed in with the actual footage from the episode. It looks like, man. So we kind of get a look at the Genga, but not fully. But yeah, man, it looks amazing. Hopefully Koei releases the full Genga soon. I need to see the full Genga this minute, especially of the effects, because my God, they are absolutely incredible, man. The colors here, man, are just insane, bro. It's insane. Please, Koei, I beg of you, my brother, release the Genga. I need the Genga for this, my guy. All right, but now we got to talk about the actual ED. Now, which I mentioned before earlier on the review, you guys remember I mentioned the first how the OP felt like it was inspired by Haruka Iida's work, but still felt like a downgrade, and it did not have that Haruka Iida sauce. Well, this, like I said there, this ED had that Haruka Iida sauce. This felt like one of her EDs, man. If you told me she directed this, man, I would have believed you. I would believe you. This is incredible. This ED is so goddamn good. Literally, the entire thing was fucking uploaded to Sakugaboro. Literally, the entire 1 minute and how long is this? 1 minute and 30-second long clip is entirely added on Sakagaboro. This is something that this only happens usually when it's like solo key anime EDs like Naruto Shippuden has a handful of those, man, that are up there uploaded in their entirety of Sakagaboro. But this is the first time we've got it for Hero Waka, man. Now, I ain't gonna come in here and link every single part of this ED, man, and listing the animators that worked on each individual section. We've been here all goddamn fucking day, man. So we'll go over it, so we'll only touch a couple of the big ones, at least that I was really interested in, man, that I really liked. So yeah. Now, all of it's not been posted on my Sakura Academia, but like they posted a couple bits of it, man. Like, you have the opening bit, which is handled by animators by Hanako Uneda, I don't know if I pronounced that right. Jason Yao also worked on this opening section that went through the first 3 episodes of season 1. We have this one final sequence that goes over season 7 that looks amazing. That was done by Mihidi Aouchiao. I know I'm mispronouncing that, man. I think this dude's like French or something. And then Noriko Morishima was the other animator that worked on this part of the episode. But arguably the highlight of this sequence, man, for me was the season 6 Dark Hero one, which was done by an animator by the name of Sato. Try to look. I'm looking at like the credits. I'm looking at the tags on Sakagaboro right now, trying to figure out who this Sato is. Okay, Toshiyuki Sato was the animator that was the animator behind this cut. This part with Lady Nagata and Izuku that just looks absolutely stunning, man. Oh, and also we gotta talk about Nora. Oh, how could I forget? How could I forget Best Girl? We gotta talk about Best Girl. This one was done by an animator by the name of Miho Kato. Miho Kato was the animator behind this one with Uraraka. So yeah, there's probably some other ones I'm missing. I'm looking at it right now, see if there's anything else that I missed. But yeah, this ED, man, easily my second favorite ED series. My number 1 is still the Yuki Sato second one from season 6, man. That's still my favorite. But this one, man, is just incredible, man. Just so good, like, so good, man. And if you guys did not know, which you probably already saw because it was all over Twitter, well, 2 things. 1, we actually get to see Izuku with the scar in the ED, which is shocking. I did not think they would put that in there. I thought we wouldn't see the scar. Maybe they would add it like near the end of the series once we see the scar, or they would just, not until the actual episode showed up when we see Izuku with the scar. Now, motherfucker, we get to see that scar in the ED, and we ended off with a notepad that says 42, a photo of Class A, and a mouse with a pen. If you know, you know. But 42, if you guys don't know, that's a final volume of Hero Waka. But the rest, if you know, you know. So that's hype. But yeah, now, to end the review up, man, we gotta talk about the next episode preview. We gotta talk about that next episode preview, ladies and gentlemen. Bruh, this looks amazing, man. Like, I don't know. Like I said, this may be the episode that Haruka Ida is directed, man. It's so, like, this is easily, like, the one episode that got the most screen time in the trailers, man. Like I said, this could be the one that she's directing. It's so beautiful that it might just be her. I would not be surprised if this is her directing this episode because of how good it looks. It could be somebody else. Like I said, I'm still hoping that she will direct the Cliff episode or the final episode when down in chapter 431. We'll have to wait and see on that, man. Also, I love the episode title is The Final Boss. But yeah, amazing work. Kohei's cut here looks amazing. You guys may know that people theorize that Vincent Chanstar's on here, man. Which seems to be from leaks, speculating from leaks, man. With this one cut of Bakugo, he's flying through the air, man. Some say that's Vincent, but I've heard other people saying that's not Vincent. It looks more like it's Kohei. We don't know. If it's a chance, if we have Kohei Hiroto on this episode, Yuki Sato, Vincent Chanstar, and Haruka Ida directing, man, bro, that's gonna be insane. If that's indeed the case, man. I don't know. Like I said, I'm just hoping that we get Yuki Sato. I don't really. If Vincent's in there, awesome. If he's not in there, cool. Whatever. I just want Yuki Sato. Give me my girl. I need Yuki in Hero Waka one last time, man. Give me Yuki Sato. Give me back my girl, man. Like, hopefully she got to work on it, man. She's not like stuck in Period jail having to work on 4-4 instead. But hopefully we get to see Yuki in the next episode, man. We'll have to wait and see it, but either way, man, this episode looks absolutely just gorgeous, man. Episode finna be generational, man. You hear it here first, ladies and gentlemen. Anyway, guys, like I said, sorry again for the long wait, for the delay, for the tardiness of the review, man. But it's up now. Next, we're gonna be back to our normal, regular scheduled programming. And yeah, anyone to the shop, baby, I give this episode a 10 out of fucking 10, ladies and gentlemen. As always, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like if you did, subscribe if you do. Follow my social if you feel like it. Links across below. And as always, come back for more. See you guys next time.